Chapter 10. The Red Room. "I can assure you," said I, "that it will be very difficult for me to be frightened. I do not believe in ghosts. Indeed, if ghosts do exist, they'll have to work very hard to scare me." And I stood up before the fire with my glass in my hand. "It is your own choice," said the man with the wrinkled arm, and glanced at me hesitantly. "I am 28 years, and I have never ever seen a ghost in my life. I simply don't believe in them," said I. The old woman sat staring hard into the fire, her pale eyes wide open.
"Aye,"
she broke in with a monotonous tone,
"but in all those 28 years you have never seen a house like this. It is full of tragedies and sorrow."
I half suspected that the old people were speaking so gloomily to enhance the queerer nature of the house that they had been looking after. "Well," I said, "let's see if I meet the ghost." Then I heard someone entering the house. From his slow footsteps, it sounded that he was older than the two people sitting before me. True enough, an old, wrinkled man walked into the room with the help of a crutch. On one eye he wore a patch. In fact, all three old people themselves looked like ghosts, that is, if the ghosts existed. Their clothes, manners, and speech all belonged to the past.
"It is your choice, dear boy,"
said the old man one more time. "Aye, it is. Now, please tell me, where is this infamous haunted Red Room where I am to spend the night?" I asked.
"Well, if you are insistent on doing that, you must go there alone. We have never had the courage to go there. There is a candle outside, lighted to see the way. Walk along the passage till you come across a spiral staircase. Climb, and then you will see a door which is covered with a green cloth. Enter the corridor through the door. The Red Room is the last one at the end of the corridor,"
finished the old man. I walked along the dark and shadowy corridors to reach the Red Room. Dark shadows danced across. I dare not look behind. The corridor smelt humid. But before I reached the room, I thought I saw shadows of people huddled together. Shaken, I demanded that they show themselves. Not getting a response, I went forward, but it turned out to be a statue. The great Red Room of the Lorraine Castle was so big and dark that the light of the candle could not illuminate the whole room. Apprehensive, I recalled the memory of my friend who last stayed here and was found dead the next morning. I also remembered other people who died staying in this room. I decided to make a complete survey of the room so that nothing would surprise me. Then I lit all the candles in the room and drew away all the curtains to make sure nobody hid behind them. Additional light was cast by the huge fireplace, for which I was thankful. Then I sat down on a big chair and used the table as a barricade. I sat there, waiting in solitude. I admit I gradually became increasingly conscious of the shadows dancing across the room. I felt an odd sensation of something, maybe a presence, lurking around. I was so nervous. Suddenly, at midnight, 2 candles blew out. I dashed to relight them. Then 2 more extinguished at the end of the room. I thought to myself, I must have done that myself in my hurry to light the other. I darted to light those 2, but only to have more candles dying off as if they were crushed by somebody's hands. "Steady," I comforted myself. However, Much to my growing apprehension, the candle in my own hand blew off. Shaken, I thought of the fireplace and felt grateful for that constant light. But much to my horror, that very moment even the fireplace extinguished. Not able to bear it any longer, I ran across the room towards the door in order to get out of the room. I thought I found the door, but I tripped over first my chair and then the bed. Half out of my mind and crying out aloud, I tried running. My last memory was of being hit by something and then falling into deep sleep.